Do you personally have any credit card debt? If so, you are definitely not alone. You see, Americans are currently around $830 billion in credit card debt, according to Experian. And that number is only exceeding. It's actually the second fastest growing debt, only behind personal loans. It's not difficult to see why. A credit card is a piece of plastic with the promise of paying for anything, as long as it does not exceed the limit on your credit card. Don't have cash to pay for something? Not a problem. This thing will take care of that problem, and you can always pay it off later. You see, we live in a consumerism culture where we always need to have the latest and greatest thing. We need bigger TVs, the newest cell phone, luxurious suits and dresses, vacations, and we can pay for it all with this thing right here in my hand. And like I said, we can always pay for it later, even if we only have $1 of cash on hand right now. We can always have that perfect dream vacation we'd always dreamed of. Because of this plastic card right here will pay for anything that we can possibly want, as long as we had the limit on our credit card to do so. Now, with all that said, should we blame credit cards for all the debt? Should we completely do away with having credit cards? Should we cut them up, as Dave Ramsey says, throw them out? Or should we simply focus on using them in a more responsible fashion and reap the benefits that credit cards provide, the cash back, the spending bonuses, the extended warranties? Ultimately, that's up to you to decide. In this video, I'm going to be talking about some of the pros and cons of using a credit card versus using cash. Let's get started. All right, so the first pro of using a credit card is something that we call cash back. Now, cash back can be anywhere between 1% and 6% on credit cards, usually right around 1.5%. So that means if you spend $100 using your credit card and you receive 1.5% cash back, you'll have $1.50, which you can redeem for cash, credit cards, travel, stuff like that, depending on the credit card. With cash, when you use the cash, you're not receiving any type of cash back. Of course, you may be thinking that $1.50 really isn't that much, but trust me, if you have a lot of charges to make, it can really add up over time, and I've really seen a lot of benefits of cash back using my credit cards. The second benefit of credit cards is a lot of them have something called a spend bonus, where if you spend something like $500 within the first 3 months, the credit card company will reward you by giving you $200 as far as a spend bonus goes, in addition to the cash back that you'll be earning. So that it is kind of a one-time deal in order to attract new card holders, but it is something that you won't receive with cash. One thing that I really enjoy the most about credit cards is the protection. If I happen to lose my wallet, if it fell out of my pocket somewhere, and somebody picked it up and started using my credit cards to make several $1,000s in transactions and maxed out all my credit cards, guess what? I would not be liable to pay for those. They have fraud protection, so if someone were to use my credit cards without my authorization, I would not be liable to pay for those. However, if I lost my wallet and somebody picked it up and used the $1 that I have in my wallet and went out and bought an expensive pack of Orbit's gum, guess what? I wouldn't be able to get this $1 back, and I would be hurting for money. But in all seriousness, having credit cards instead of cash on hand definitely protects you. If you were to keep more than, say, just $1 on hand like I generally do, and you have hundreds of dollars in your wallet, if you were to lose your wallet, most likely you're not going to be getting that money back unless you run into someone that's nice enough that will turn your wallet in which you can go back and get your wallet and all your money back. But with you having those credit cards in there, you'd be a whole lot safer and feel a whole lot better. Another benefit of having credit cards is you really just need them to build any type of credit. And in order to get a home loan, for example, you will need to have some type of credit history, unfortunately, which you can't really build with cash. And you can say, well, I'll just pay cash for my home, and that's fine if you're extremely wealthy and you have all the money on hand where you can go and drop $200,000 on a home, it's great, but most of us simply don't have that cash on hand where we can go off and buy a home with cash. We'll need to take out some type of loan, and in order to do that, we need to have a good credit history. And if you have a good history of paying off your credit cards in full every single month, that credit score will increase, which means we'll receive a lower interest rate when we go to apply for a loan for a house or maybe a car, for example. Another thing with credit cards is really we absolutely need them. If you're going to check into a hotel, they generally will ask for a credit card to keep on file just in case when you do leave your hotel and let's say that you have a lot of damages or something like that, where there's a hole in the wall or the TV is missing, they'll have something where they can charge you the amount of damages that take place in the room while you're there. So if you don't have a credit card that you can give them, they're probably not going to let you check into the room, or at least most hotels won't allow that. Or if you go to purchase a rental car, they'll want to have a credit card on file. So just in case there are damages that take place when you're using the rental, they'll have a card on file that they can charge you extra amounts in case something were to happen like that. And finally, another really great benefit of having credit cards is a lot of them will offer extended warranties on top of the warranty that you're already receiving. So let's say that you go buy a new TV at Best Buy and they just offer a 1-year warranty on that TV. And after that 1 year is up, let's say that 1 week later that TV ends up breaking or something happens to it where it's no longer working. If you just had that Best Buy warranty, you're kind of out of luck because it's no longer covered by them. Now, a lot of these credit card companies will offer 1 year or 2 years more than that warranty. So after that first year, then you'll have the credit card warranty that will kick in. So if something were to happen to that TV 1 year and 2 months after the fact, you'll have that other warranty that will kick in and will kind of cover you in that situation. All right, so we mentioned some of the benefits of having a credit card. Now let's jump into the downside of having a credit card. And for me, that's really the interest that you could possibly be paying with these credit cards. If you're not paying your credit card bill in full every single month, these credit card companies will begin charge you interest. And the whole benefit of having a credit card is reaping all the benefits of the cash back, the spend bonuses. And if you're being charged interest, it's kind of defeating the purpose of that, because even though you're getting all this cash back with the credit card, you're paying more in interest than you're receiving back in cash back and spending bonuses. So you're not really getting anything out of using the credit card if you're paying more in than what you're getting out, if that makes sense. So I recommend that you always pay your credit card bill in full. And if you do start receiving interest on your credit card, always pay it off as soon as you can. And no, you cannot out invest what you're receiving in interest. Unless you're smarter than 99% of us, most likely you're not able to do that. So just pay off your credit card bill in full, and then you can jump into investing. All right, so now that we listed the downside of using a credit card as far as the interest goes, let's go ahead and start talking about some of the benefits of using cash. Now, the first benefit of using cash that I can think of is that sometimes you can get better deals. So I'm sure that some of us have been driving down the road sometimes and we'll see at a gas station, they'll have a different price for cash and a different price for credit. So the cash is usually a little bit lower and for better of a deal. And in those situations, I guess you'd be better off paying with cash because you're getting a better deal paying cash than you would be getting cash back with a credit card, if that makes sense. So in those situations, it's better paying cash. And sometimes if you go into a restaurant, if it's like a smaller business or something like that, they will offer you a better deal. Maybe if you ask the owner of the restaurant if you pay cash, if he'll take a certain amount off your bill versus using a credit card, because you'll have to pay a processing fee of using your credit card. So it'd be better for him to accept the cash and not have to pay the fee, if that makes sense. But a lot of places in my experience are going to charge the same, whether it's credit card or cash. So in that situation, it's better off to use your credit card because you're getting the cash back with that. Plus, with a credit card, you'll have like a spending summary and you can go online and you'll be able to track all your expenses much easier than with cash, where you'd have to go home and actually physically write down what you're spending each and every week, month, if you were going to try to create some type of budget summary of what you're spending. Another benefit of using cash is if you are a little bit reckless with spending and you're one of those people who really can't control your spending, or you're an impulsive buyer and you're going to the mall and you see an outfit that you absolutely love and it's hard for you to say no because you have a credit card, it's probably better just to start using cash only, not have any credit cards in your wallet because of those purposes. Where it might be hard to pass up that outfit if you have a piece of plastic that can pay for it, versus if you don't have enough money in your bank account to pay for it now and you're not able to control your spending, you might be influenced to use that credit card. So in those cases, if you're more of an impulsive buyer, I would say the benefit of cash would be better. It'd be better for you personally just to be using cash and not be having a lot of credit cards on you. What I would personally recommend for those who aren't such an impulsive buyer would be just to keep a little bit of cash on hand in case of emergency situations where they're only able to pay with cash, and then those other situations pay with credit card and take advantage of the cash back and reap the rewards of having the credit card. However, if you're a little bit more of an impulsive buyer, I would stick mainly with cash. Ultimately, the decision comes down to you, whether credit cards are better for you or whether cash is better for you. That's not up for me to say. Me personally, I keep a little bit of cash in my wallet at a time just in case of emergency or something that I can only pay cash with. And all other purchases, I use my credit card for the cash back and to try to take advantage of all the benefits of my credit card. Well, that about wraps up this video. If you did enjoy the content in this one, you would like to see more videos like it, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also leave this video a like. Until next time, I'll see you guys.